Hey y'all, I wanted to come talk to you real quick because I've been seeing something on social media for the last couple of days that I think we should talk about. And that is this green smoke that apparently has been showing up in Minnesota and Portland. There's a lot of, from what I've been seeing, there's a lot of fear around that. There's nobody is saying it directly, but everybody seems to be worried that is some kind of new chemical weapon that is not tear gas. So I wanted to come address that real quick because it looks like that is really just smoke. It is really just smoke that is dyed green. It is the result of an M18 smoke grenade. The military uses those for a couple of different purposes. They use them to identify locations, like they throw down a smoke grenade so that the helicopter knows this is where the unit is that they need to come pick up. They throw down a smoke grenade so they know this is an enemy location, and that's where air support needs to focus their fire. They can also use it to cloak movement, right? So that it's got a couple of different uses, but it's not a chemical weapon. It's just smoke that is dyed. Now, is it? It is like anything else that is kind of an airborne irritant. Any kind of smoke, is it going to mean a certain level of elevated risk for like infants, people who already have severe respiratory problems? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But that doesn't make it a chemical weapon. They already have tear gas that they can use for that. So yeah. Um, and the reason I wanted to come kind of talk about that, kind of the second part of this, is that it's really important, really, really important that we're not um, spreading unfounded and unreasonable fear, and fears about things that like in this case, it's just not. It doesn't exist. It's that's not a chemical weapon. And the reason for that, the reason we need to be careful about that, and I understand that the instinct here is to try and do the right thing, trying to help make sure that people do have the information they need to keep themselves safe. And but we all also need to not let our fear override that part of our minds and our consciousness, our brains, that is able to assess information with some accuracy and be able to figure out what is what. Because the people who are on the ground need to be able to assess the situation as accurately as possible. They also need to be able, like each of, and then individually, right? Every individual person that is choosing to go out there needs to be able to assess their risk profile as accurately as possible. And we don't all have the same risk profile, right? So people need that information to be able to make that decision. So if you don't have kids, it's very different for you to be deciding, okay, I'm going to be going out here, I'm going to be protesting. The amount of risk I am willing to accept is going to be very different than somebody who has 3 kids at home that they need to support and that they need to be responsible for. And and that also works in the, like, if you get the shit kicked out of you by police and you need 2-3 days to recover. There are some people who have jobs where they can take 2 or 3 days and it's not really a big deal. There are other people who are going to lose their jobs if that's the case. And so that makes their risk profile different. And I know that there are going to be a lot of people out there who want to say, like, well, we should all be out there and everybody, it's not, and none of that's going to matter if they take everything over and they get what they want. And there's a certain degree of truth to that for sure, but that's still not how people make decisions. It just, you can say that all day, and that's not going to be how people make decisions. It's just not how it works. Um, so we need to be able to help people understand how to make the best decisions possible. Give them, not be adding false information that creates extra unfounded fears in the in the environment, because they use, like, the fasters get to use confusion and chaos to their benefit because they have the kind of power they have right now. And they are going to use confusion and chaos to their benefit every time they get the opportunity. So, like, we need to be very careful about what kind of information we're sharing and whether or not we can tell that it has any basis in truth. And there seems to be no basis in truth in this green smoke thing. I have seen a number of former military people talking about this on social media. I've also seen a couple of journalists who have been in war zones talking about this, and the green smoke as a chemical weapon just does not pass the sniff test. So, like, just be careful. And I'm not trying to give anybody a hard time. I understand the instinct is that you're trying to give people information to help keep them safe, and that's good. That's wonderful. That's part of the reason we're different from them, right? But just you just gotta not let the fear make you jump to conclusions that is going to help spread confusion. Because that's not going to work in our favor. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about right now. Thank you again if you're actually listening to me. I appreciate it. So have a good day.